Breaking news, President Salva Kiir Mayardit cabinet change as election preparation come under new spotlight. Well, thank you for joining us today. We have two important developments from South Sudan that could have a big impact on the country political future. The first story is about a major cabinet change made by President Salva Kiir Mayardit. One of his closest political allies has been moved from one of the most powerful ministries in the government. Second, we will talk about we will focus on the arrival of former President Jakaya Kikwete of Tanzania, who is now serving as the African Union High Representative for the Horn of Africa and the Red Sea. He has returned to Juba to evaluate whether South Sudan is truly prepared to hold national election later this year. Well, these two developments happen almost at the same time, leading many people to ask whether the government is entering a new political phase as the election date moves closer. Before we proceed with this latest update, I would like you to help the channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Let's begin with President Salva Kiir Mayardit makes a major change in his cabinet. President Salva Kiir Mayardit has made another important change within his government. During a presidential announcement broadcast on national television, the president appointed a new Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. The decision immediately attracted attention because it involved one of the country's longest-serving government official, Michael Makwelwe, has been removed from the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Instead of remaining in charge of the country legal affairs, he has been assigned to lead the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. At the same time, Wegman Merkol has returned to lead the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs after previously serving in the same position. The government did not explain why these changes were made. As is common with many cabinet appointments in South Sudan, the presidential announcement simply confirmed the appointment without providing additional detail. Even without an official explanation, the decision has created widespread discussion among political observers, civil society organizations, and ordinary citizens. Many people are trying to understand what this change means, especially because it comes at a time when the country is preparing for important national election. To understand why this cabinet change matters, it is important to understand the role of the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. This ministry serves as the government's main legal office. It advises the government on legal matters, prepare laws, represent the government in many legal issues, and play an important role in constitutional reform. Whenever major legal questions arise, this ministry often becomes one of the most influential institutions within the government. Because of this responsibility, the appointment of a new justice minister is never viewed as a routine administrative decision. Instead, many observers see it as a political decision that can influence future government action. Michael Makwelwe is one of the most experienced politicians in South Sudan. For many years, he has remained one of President Salva Kiir Mayardit's closest political allies. Throughout different governments, he has continued to hold important ministerial positions. His long service has made him one of the most recognizable public officials in the country. Many South Sudanese know him because he frequently speaks on behalf of the government during important national issues. He has often defended government policies and explained official positions during difficult political movements. His experience stretched back even before South Sudan became an independent country in 2011. During the period when South Sudan enjoyed semi-autonomous government arrangement, Michael Makwelwe was already serving in government leadership. Over the year, he has worked in different ministries and remained an influential member of President Kiir's administration. His latest assignment before this reshuffle was leading the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Now, he returned to the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs, a ministry where he also served years ago. So, who is Wekma Mirkwal? The new Justice Minister, Wekma Mirkwal, is not new to this position. He has previously served as Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. After leaving that ministry, he became Minister of Parliamentary Affairs. Now, President Salva Kiir Mayardit has once again trusted him with one of the government's most important legal responsibilities. This means he already understands the work of the ministry and may continue from where previous legal process stopped. However, the challenges facing the ministry today are significant. The country is approaching election. Several political and constitutional issues remain unresolved. The implementation of the peace agreement also continues to face delay. All this responsibility will now fall under the leadership of Wekma Mirkwal. Since no official explanation was provided, many South Sudanese are asking important questions. Why was this change made now? Why move one of the president's closest allies from such an important ministry? Why return a former minister to the same position? At the moment, this question remains unanswered. Political observers believe only the president and his closest advisor know the full reason behind the decision. Until the government provides more information, any explanation remains speculation. For that reason, it is important to separate confirmed fact from personal opinion. The confirmed fact is that Michael Makwelwe has been transferred and Wekma Mirkwal is now leading the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Everything beyond that remains open for discussion. The timing has attracted attention. Only one day before this cabinet reshuffle, President Kiir instructed government authority to speed up the handling of court cases. That announcement highlighted the importance of improving access to justice across the country. Soon afterward, the government announced a new leadership team for the Ministry of Justice. Some observers believe this event may be connected. Others believe the cabinet reshuffle is simply part of routine government management. Without an official explanation, no conclusion can be confirmed. Still, the close timing has naturally encouraged public discussion. Cabinet reshuffle are common in many countries. Leaders often change minister of different reasons. Sometimes they want a stronger performance. Sometimes they want fresh leadership. Sometimes they prepare for new national priorities. Sometimes political negotiation also influence government appointment. South Sudan has experienced several cabinet changes over the year. President Salva Kiir Mayardit has the authority to appoint and dismiss senior government officials under the country's transitional political arrangement. Therefore, today's announcement continues a pattern that South Sudan citizens have witnessed many times before. However, because elections are expected later this year, every government appointment is now receiving greater public attention. People are looking closely at every political decision to understand whether it signals larger change that could affect the country's future. While the government was announcing important cabinet change, another major political development was taking place in Juba. Well, a senior African Union official arrived in capital to examine South Sudan readiness for the election expected later this year. Now we turn to another important story that could have a major impact on the country's political future. A senior representative of the African Union has arrived in Juba with one clear mission: to examine how ready South Sudan is for the national election expected later this year. His visit comes at a time when political discussions are becoming more active. Government institutions are under pressure to prepare for election, and many citizens continue to ask whether the country is truly ready for such an important event. The visitor is Jakaya Kikwete, the former president of Tanzania. After completing his presidency, he continued serving Africa through diplomatic and peace-building work. Earlier this year, the African Union appointed him as its high representative for the Horn of Africa and the Red Sea. His responsibility is to work with countries in the region, encourage peace, support dialogue between political groups, and have government resolve conflict peacefully. South Sudan is one of the countries included in his mission. Because of this responsibility, his visit to Juba carries significant political importance. He is not visiting as a tourist or as a representative of one country. Instead, he is visiting on behalf of the African Union, one of the continent's largest regional organizations. Well, soon after arriving in Juba, Kikwete met President Salva Kiir Mayardit. The meeting focused on South Sudan political progress and preparation for the election expected in December. After the meeting, Kikwete explained why he had returned to South Sudan. He said he wanted to continue discussion with South Sudanese leader and personally assess how much progress had been made toward organizing the election. According to him, the visit is part of ongoing consultation that have continued over the recent month. He explained that he wanted to understand the current situation directly from the country leader and institutions instead of depending only on written report. Kikwete made it clear that his visit would involve much more than meeting President Salva Kiir Mayardit. He said he planned to meet several institutions responsible for organizing the election. These include the National Electoral Commission, which is responsible for preparing and managing the voting process. He also planned to meet the Political Parties Council, which oversees the registration and participation of political parties. In addition, he intended to meet officials working on South Sudan permanent constitution. These meetings are important because successful elections depend on more than one institution. Election organizers, lawmakers, constitutional experts, security agencies, political parties, and civil society organizations all have important responsibilities. Kikwete discussion with these different groups will help the African Union better understand how prepared the country is. Preparing for national election is a very large task. It is not simply about printing ballot paper or opening polling stations. Many other issues must also be addressed. Election law needs to be clear. Political parties should have equal opportunities to campaign. Citizens should understand the voting process. Security forces should be prepared to protect voters. Election workers need proper training. Voting material must reach every part of the country. Disagreement between political groups should be managed peacefully. Without careful preparation, election can become difficult to organize and may lead to confusion or conflict. This is one reason why regional organizations like the African Union closely monitor election preparation. Well, if elections are held as planned, they will become one of the most important events in South Sudan's history. Since gaining independence in 2011, the country has not yet held a national election. Instead, political leaders have continued governing under transitional arrangement created through peace agreement. Well, many South Sudanese hope election will allow citizens to choose their leader through peaceful voting. Others believe more work is needed before the country is fully prepared. The difference of opinion has become one of the biggest political discussions in South Sudan today. The government led by President Salva Kiir Mayardit continue to support holding election this year. Government officials have repeatedly stated that the country should move forward with the planned timetable. They argue that elections are an important step toward completing the country's political transition. However, not everyone agrees. Some opposition groups believe several important parts of the peace agreement have not yet been fully implemented. They argue that holding election before completing those reforms could create additional political challenges. Well, some believe institutions still need strengthening. Others believe more time is required to complete constitutional reform, improve security arrangement, and build greater trust among political parties. These different opinions continue to shape political discussion across the country. One issue that continues to receive national and international attention is the situation involving First Vice President Dr. Riek Machar, the leader of SPLA-IO. Dr. Riek Machar remains in detention in Juba while facing legal proceedings. His situation has become part of wider political discussion surrounding the peace agreement and election preparation. Supporters of the government say legal institutions should continue handling the matter according to the law. Others believe political dialogue remains important for maintaining national stability because Dr. Riek Machar played an important role in signing the 2018 peace agreement. His current situation continues to attract attention from regional organizations and international partners. Before arriving in Juba, Kikwete had already been holding discussions with several South Sudanese opposition groups outside the country. This meeting formed part of wider effort to encourage dialogue between different political actors. Regional leaders continue encouraging South Sudan's political group to solve disagreement through peaceful discussion instead of confrontation. The African Union believes that lasting peace requires continuous communication between all major political stakeholders. This approach has remained one of the organization's priorities throughout South Sudan's peace process. South Sudan's future is important not only to its own citizens but also to neighboring countries. Peace and stability in South Sudan affect trade, regional security, humanitarian assistance, refugee movement, and economic development throughout East Africa. Because of this, organizations such as the African Union, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, the United Nations, and many international partners continue following development closely. Their goal is to support peaceful political progress while respecting South Sudan's sovereignty. Most international partners agree on one point. They support elections that are peaceful, inclusive, transparent, and trusted by the people. South Sudan now finds itself at an important moment. Government institutions continue preparing for election. Political leaders continue discussing the future. Regional organizations continue encouraging dialogue. Citizens continue hoping for peace, stability, and development. The coming month may become some of the most important in the country's recent story. Every political decision, every diplomatic visit, and every step taken by a national institution will likely influence the direction South Sudan follow in the year ahead. In conclusion, as election preparation continue, many important questions remain. Will all necessary reform be completed before the planned election date? Will political parties reach greater agreement? Will citizens have confidence in the electoral process? Can South Sudan successfully organize peaceful national election for the first time since independence? These are the questions many South Sudanese are asking today. Only time will provide the answer. Well, if you are new here to Changfied YouTube channel, I would like you to tap the channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Thank you for watching and let's meet on the next report. Bye-bye.